today is the kickoff of the 75th anniversary celebration for Tinker Air Force Base. And it's going to be a big year, folks. We have a lot of things on the agenda. So buckle up. It's going to be a fast and furious ride. Includes events such as a dining out, an air show where the Air Force Thunderbirds will be the keynote performers, an Air Force Ball, and a number of other events. But it's not just the 75th anniversary of Tinker Air Force Base. It's not just about an air show, although air shows are pretty cool. It also celebrates our very special relationship with Oklahoma City. It also celebrates the 75th anniversary of Midwest City. Mayor Dukes, the mayor of Midwest City. Mr. Mayor, glad you're here to help join us as we celebrate a shared special interest that we have as you commemorate your 75th year of existence. It's also the 70th year of your United States Air Force, breaking barriers since 1947. When we think back on the history of Tinker, it reveals the strategic significance that this base in the middle of Oklahoma and its airmen, both active, reserve, guard, military, civilian, commercial, have had on our Air Force. The narrator, Lieutenant Shane, mentioned in his opening remarks the base started in 1940 when a visionary group of civic leaders and businessmen in Oklahoma City pitched a plan to the War Department, that's what the Department of Defense was called at the time, in Washington, D.C., to locate a large maintenance facility here in Oklahoma City. Now think about that. 1940. The southeast side of Oklahoma County, Oklahoma City, it was probably pretty quiet, right? This was probably the hinterlands, probably a day's journey for some. It was only 33 years after Oklahoma became a state, our 47th state, and only 51 years after the land run of 1889. I mean, my goodness, Oklahoma was still recovering from the effects of the Dust Bowl in the 30s. Employment, agriculture, not where they needed to be, not where certainly the state wanted it to be. And the prospect of a large federal military maintenance facility was a significant opportunity to bring jobs, income, and growth to the state of Oklahoma. A year later, 6 months after construction began in 41, the U.S. got into World War II. Oklahoma City was suddenly in the middle of supporting the wars in Europe and the Pacific. At the same time, Clarence Tinker, a Pawhuska, died leading a flight of 4 LB-30 Liberators, precursor to the B-24, on an attack against Japanese forces on Wake Island. The first general officer to die in combat in World War II, on a mission he probably didn't even have to be on. Service before self. Who will I send and who will go for us? Here I am, send me. In honor of his death, General Arnold ordered the installation named Tinker Field, effective October 14, 1942. As the war was fought, won, and then wound down, Tinker Field continued to play an instrumental role in our nation's defense. It's directly involved in the Berlin airlift, the Korean War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Vietnam War. The base provided frontline support to forces engaged in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. It supported Southern Watch and Northern Watch, the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. And throughout this year, you'll hear and read, like you see across the wall to my right, more about the history associated with each of those conflicts. But one of Tinker Air Force Base's most significant contributions to national defense is its direct support to the nuclear deterrent. Tinker Air Force Base is also proud to be a power projection platform for key Air Force and Navy operations, such as the 552nd Air Control Wing and the E-3 AWACS. As I mentioned, the Navy. Just part of a distinguished history of strategic support to the nation, all enabled by the amazing men and women right here at Tinker. So as we think about the next 75 years, right? So we've spent a few minutes talking about the past. Let's look to the future. We're shaping the Air Force of tomorrow, right here. The vision of Oklahoma's business community continues to develop capacity at Tinker to help us deliver combat power into the second half of the 21st century. For example, in 2006, when General Motors closed their plant just south of the base right on I-240 and Air Depot, the city of Oklahoma City and the surrounding communities in the county saw the potential of using that facility to expand operations at Tinker. Through a confluence of events, elected leaders at all levels, multiple communities got together, acquired what was then the GM plant, and it is now a key aspect of the nation's sustainment operations. Other visionary leaders saw the potential of using the old Burlington Northern Santa Fe BNSF rail yard adjacent to that building for additional capacity. Again, through the community collaboration at all levels of government, local, county, state, and federal, that parcel of land was acquired. In February 15, we started turning that into the KC-46 Pegasus 2 maintenance campus, where the next tanker will be sustained. And if you drive by your depot today, you'll see a lot of work going on that in a few years will be the home of where the next generation tanker will be sustained, right here at Tinker Air Force Base. It's as strategically important to our nation now as it ever has been. You helped the F-35 achieve initial operational capability. You helped sustain the F-35 engines, the most advanced jet engine on the planet, with technology our adversaries would love to steal and copy. Not war-fighting capabilities, war-winning capabilities, sustained right here at Tinker Air Force Base. We're writing software for the next generation of conventional and nuclear weapon system. We'll be the source of repair for the KC-46, as I mentioned, and Tinker Air Force Base will have a role in the B-21 Raider, the next bomber. So the history of Tinker could not have been written without achieving the art of the possible. And that art of the possible was only realized by that partnership between community, county, city, state, and federal leaders all coming together.